All right, Eagles fans, welcome to your broadcast for the CACC coverage here for Post University Esports. My name's PyroJ. I'm a new face here for Post University. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm delighted to take you through the action here for the Eagles. They have a difficult matchup here in week number 5 up against the Goldey Beacom squad. The Lightning are undefeated this season, coming into this matchup 4-0, 16-2 game differential. So this Lightning team, they do bleed, but it's tough to knock them down. If any team has the best opportunity to do that, it is the Eagles, though. Post University second in the standings for their conference at a hot 3-2 win record. So can they take down the Lightning today? That's a big question for the Eagles. Thanks again so much for having me, everybody. I hope you're as excited as I am to see how this best of 7 goes. And I believe without further ado, we're getting started. So we'll take it to the game and we'll get ready for these teams to join up. As you can see, Post are going to be in orange tonight, as their opponent's Goldey will be on blue. So we're taking a look at Post University join up on that orange team when these players are ready and take on the Goldey Beacom Lightning. Of course, as I mentioned, it's not going to be an easy matchup, but we are excited to see what this team can do tonight. And thanks to those in the chat that have joined. I see out there Shar Darky. I see out there King Jackson 56. I know you see the tick marks as well on the scoreboard there. 3 does not mark the end of the series. It is a best of 7. Best of 7 tonight. So first 2-4 wins. It could go a whole hour today, so it's best to get started when they're ready, and it looks like they're ready to go. Folks, if you're here for Rocket League, then you came to the right place. It is CACC week number 5, and we are underway. So we're all set to go. Blitz going to be the front runner to kick things off for the Eagles, and hallelujah, already off the mark. Post University put up the first goal up against Goldey Beacom. I'll tell you right now, there's no better way to get this matchup started. NiMBiiX looking very comfortable, sending in that shot to get things started. For Post University, it is the first step in what may be a marathon to run tonight. Take down the undefeated Lightning. But you got to make that first step. You got to go forward just to get started. Klowa's out here. Klowa was helping me get into the lobby today. And they're helping themselves stay on 4 wheels as well. Some nice air rolling and maneuvering just to stay on the ground there. NiMBiiX to take to the backboard, but it's cleared rather easily. Goldey Beacom. Post University were the spring champions for CACC Esports. They won that conference, I believe, in a sweep in their championships. So Goldey Beacom, they'll be looking to take down Post University just to knock the crown off of their head today. Certainly not going to be an easy task, though, especially as Post sending those shots away. Nice kick off the backboard. Here's the follow. NiMBiiX leaving it for Blitz. That's on target and not easily saved. The Eagles up by 2. And that's just a solid ripper there from Blitz. Center court, right in the paint. Proactive as ever to get in position for the shot and clean it up. Team couldn't be looking better here in game number 1. The give and go nearly finds its way to the net, but Jade on that Goldey side, putting up save after save. Should be their third save of the game already. Oh, it does go to Jade, though, and it looks like they can do it from one side of the field to the other. Jade picks this one up. And it's not often you see messages in the quick chat here. You get a whoops there from NiMBiiX, but in fairness, Blitz had a corner read that they were just off on, so it's team effort at the end of the day. Mistakes are gonna happen. It's not about the mistakes you make, but it's how you pick yourself up and you continue on, and perseverance is the play for Post University. Third goal, straight in. NiMBiiX off of the kickoff, making sure there's a balance to that initial face-off. And kickoffs can be a scary part of this video game, where it oftentimes is a pinch on the ball, and those are the most difficult collisions to predict in this Rocket League physics-based engine. Players can do their best to try and get in the path of the ball, but it's not always easy. Klowa making it look simple this time, though. NiMBiiX on the touch of the ball. Gets the demolition as well. Eliminates a player momentarily from Goldey. Jade following this ball off the ceiling. Had the flip saved. And nearly used it for the goal. Ozor up high and mighty, but are they as strong as Klowa? Coming down from the heavens to knock away the fourth goal for Post. What a beautiful flight. The trajectory of Klowa allowing them to fall on the ball, descend, and send down a meteor. 3-goal lead for the Eagles. Now this one a little bit scary for Goldey Beacom as well. Birdwick getting the Savior medal, and it's not always a good thing if the defense is talked about this much to this extent for Goldey Beacom, because, well, that means you're just not playing as much offense. The double play on the goal line saves another for Goldey Beacom. Keeps them in this game. I'd say a 3-goal range is doable, but still a mighty deficit. Birdwick forced to dodge the bump and miss the ball. Post University staying strong on this ascension here from Goldey. They managed to get in the orange half, but are they going to knock down another goal? The dagger swiped away by Blitz. Klowa first up to the ball, first to clear it away. It's not about the goals at this point for the Eagles, but they wouldn't mind a fifth. NiMBiiX strikes towards the net, but it goes wide. Blitz turns on this, but gets bumped out of the play. Great clear from NiMBiiX, down to under a minute remaining. The Eagles look like they're soaring just fine today. A couple more stops will secure their Game 1 victory, but another reminder for all you in chat. Best of 7 means first to 4 wins. 1 win is a great start, and especially at this level of play. Post University looking clean, nearly a double tap off the sidewall. Goalie demolition, that lane's open. Ozor strikes. Just like that, we've seen it before for the Post University goals. A single miss on the defensive end will result in a goal for the other team. I think that if I had to analyze the play here, Post University, they're going for these high-risk, high-reward touches. Maybe a pitch off the backboard or that double tap off the sidewall. And when they're just barely missed, they expose a massive gap on the defensive side. I think less risk-taking will involve less goal concessions, but it might not matter. A fifth for Post University puts them up ahead by 3 yet again. Nice pitch there from Klowa. This should bring us to zeros on the timer. A wonderful start for your Post University Eagles. Give it up for this team. First win under the wings Many more to go. So there you see it, our first tick mark on the scoreboard. Post University earn their first win. Take a look at the scoreboard here. Blitz. Cheeky little hat trick to kick things off. And it did come from some fantastic goals, but it also came from an unbelievable amount of pressure against Goldey Beacom. That is a ridiculous amount of shots to put in a single game. We're talking about 15 in just game one. Goldey Beacom can be happy with 7. 7 is solid, but again, 15 shots. You're just guaranteed to get at least a couple goals just from that production on offense. A post on the precision play. Earn more than that. We'll get underway with game number 2. Post University starting off the series just right. Let's see what else they have in store. Already off the kickoff. Chances for Post University. Birdwick gonna be very happy they got in front of that ball and that they see that one away as well. Unfortunate for Jade here on Goldey Beacom. That's a tough boost to miss. It ends up getting stolen by Post University, and look at these boost grabs. How vital they are. It's all about the offensive production for Post University. If they keep putting up these shots, if the possessions last as long as they do, Goldey Beacom are going to have such a hard time staying with this ball, getting those saves. You can see the double jump from a low boosted Goldey Beacom player is required because they can't boost up to it. Demolition makes things all the more tough, but a long clear for Goldey Beacom should balance things out. Clear once again, and Klowa is going to be the one to pick this up. Wonderful pass of the backboard, read well by Birdwick. Now Klowa, what can you do on a play like this? It ends up as a back pass to NiMBiiX. Bit of a throwaway, but the chance to doink it into the net. NiMBiiX. A laser angle here as they turn around on it. The doink for the bar down. Opening goal of game 2. And I like NiMBiiX's style as well, rocking that limitless decal. Top team from last season over for RLCS SSA. It is a beautiful decal, and as they say in Rocket League sometimes, you know, look good, feel good. You got a good style, you can put on the points. Such is the case for NiMBiiX in game 2. See what else Post University have. That's a goalie demolition. Just 2 remaining for Goldey Beacom for the moment. NiMBiiX following this ball on low boost, gets the steal. And not the best communication there for Post University. I think NiMBiiX had a pretty good idea of centering that ball, but never had a teammate to get to it. Ozor narrowly making that save. Had some reinforcements back towards their goal, but decides to take it themselves. It's a retire to defense for NiMBiiX for the moment, but they peel into the play at the right time. Long clear. Followed up for Birdwick's. Blitz gets the flick past one. And slowly Post University chip away at the defense. Blitz, great rotation. Here comes the dribble into the flip for the shot. Rings off the crossbar. Almost a double tap reset from Klowa. Great idea. Tough on the execution. Fly so quickly to that ball, stopping on a dime to get the flip reset for the double tap is so difficult. But it's good to see that those tools are in the kit for Post. Like I said, even the highest level mechanics may not be worth it in a game like this. You have that 1-goal lead. Risk taking to stretch for a flip reset double tap may not be worth it, but boy, is it worth it to see that ball away. That shot from Goldey Beacom would have tied things up, but it misses. between the uprights. Blitz. Oh, gets the air dribble. And we'll take a look at the replay. This shot, I don't believe, was on target. It was the panic, though, from Birdwix to just get in front of it that ended up as a own goal, providing the Eagles with a second goal. So, hey, you take the goals however they come if you're post. And for how close this game was, a 2-goal lead is going to feel amazing. Almost as amazing as a 3-goal lead. Klowa, downfield, past Ozor, and in. So how about that for your post-university Eagles? So far, so great. 7-1 score differential in this series. 7-2 maybe. And this is not against no lowly Goldey Beacom squad. This is the undefeated Lightning, 4-0, 16-2 in goal differential. They're about to, excuse me, game differential. They are about to double their losses on the season with a win here in game 2. The post-university Eagles, nothing to bat your eye at. And if you blink for just a second, you'll miss the shot out from Blitz. Jade tries to get the long clear and follow it off the ceiling, but not realizing it's a perfect pass to Blitz. If you're watching from Goldey Beacom's perspective, you got to be a little bit frustrated here because the last 3 goals feel very avoidable. I have to be honest, we may even count it as 4. No, that one's saved by Birdwick. But goals 2 and 3 were hit last by a Lightning player. 5th one will go in here for post, but that 4th goal then cleared and basically passed to the opposition. If you're Goldey Beacom and you're moving forward in this series, you're thinking, hey, these were avoidable goal concessions. Let's get back to the fundamentals. You know, let's compose ourselves and play the game like we know we can. We even talked about post-university and the 2 goals that they conceded in game number 1. Those were off of simple mistakes, simple misreads, either off the corner or for the sidewall double. As long as those touches are made, they're good to go for the Eagles. And the Eagles will be good to go for another win here. Folks, they are stacking on the success. Post-university Eagles, 2 wins to start off the series. Not without a goal from Jade, though. Why not? All right, so we do get a timeout called here from Jade of Goldey Beacom Lightning. So we'll have to wait a bit of an extended period of time here for the next game. And a substitution called out as well. Ozor going to back out for Karma. And I don't know about all of you and your Rocket League esports experience, but at one point, Karma, the most talented women's esports player in the Rocket League scene. So that name does carry weight here in the Rocket League esports scene. See if the skill set backs it up as well. If so, Goldey Beacom may stop pulling their punches and start throwing some haymakers. But for post-university and the Eagles here, they don't have much to change. Their really only improvement area out of game 1 was minimizing mistakes, because that's what led to the goals for the Lightning, and they did just that in game number 2. Stopped going for too big, risky plays. Played very patient as well. You know, only the 1-goal lead for a long, long time. And it wasn't until the last couple of minutes that the mistakes started to come out from Goldey Beacom. They took advantage and they got that huge lead. So, for post-university, the idea going into game 3 is just continue to play your game. Don't overextend. No need for big risks. Just lock in for those rudimentary plays maybe force some errors, continue those goalie demolitions. I like the offensive rotations moving through the goal line to target those demos. They're able to do it in a conservative way as well. Post University, assisted by their coach in Chixxa, doing a great job on the coaching role. I can see the stratagem executed out there on the field. Everything seems to be flowing smoothly. Once again, timeout called here for Goldey Beacom, and I have to update the overlay. There it is. Second win there for Post. For those who may be tuning in mid-series, this is the CACC Week 5 for Rocket League. Goldey Beacom, undefeated so far this season in the fall 2025 season. 4-0 and 16-2 in game differential. Boy, has that changed. Post University handing them 2 extra losses for that game differential. And currently sitting at a 3-2 record. Keen to make it 4-2. Keen to bring them closer and closer to those number 1 standings holders of the Lightning. I don't know how much time is given for teams on a timeout, but they're definitely talking it over. Making sure that the right strategy is good to go. Timeout is 5 minutes. Thank you, Post U Esports. Appreciate that. All right, well, pump up the jams then. We can hang out and vibe out while we wait. One thing we haven't seen from Post University so far is what kind of adaptations can be made if adjustments are required. And I think Karma could end up being that X factor, something to shake it up. Dynamics could very likely change here from Goldey as Ozor steps out of the game. And Karma steps in. Question is that something that the Eagles are ready to adjust for? We'll have to see. 5 minutes is a very long timeout, by the way. Very uncharacteristic for Rocket League timeouts. I do kind of like it, though. Imagine a player needs to take a bathroom break. That's actually a very helpful length of a timeout. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Ooh, game may start prematurely here. I think someone joined before everybody was ready, so. Alright, that's fine. We can wait. We will wait. Ideally, the server is reset in a situation like this. Sorry, folks. Players just must be having issues coordinating well. But that's okay. We do have admin privileges newly in Rocket League, so you can actually pause the server, reset the game, and get it going. But okay, everyone's going to leave the server. But it's been an honor so far, broadcasting the action here for the Eagles. So far, undefeated. When I'm casting the team, I'm just gonna put it out there. So, good luck, charm, maybe. But I think it's all been the Eagles so far today. Klowa especially turning out to be a, let's say, X Factor, potential MVP for the team as well. Had a couple of goals in the last game. Not afraid to play an off-the-ball role as well. We've seen the goalie demos, the big bump plays, the boost steals as well have been massive for the Eagles. I love the way that they take those vital resources away from Goldey Beacom. And that shows a mature team as well. You know, that shows a team that isn't afraid to have multiple goals in mind when you're playing one game, one objective to win, but still facilitating in different ways. That also speaks to the selflessness of players. Oftentimes when you have the ball, you want to solo play. North America in Rocket League esports is known for being very egotistical and breeding players that just want to solo play to the net. But this is a very team-based unit opposed to university, which is rare at this collegiate level and is very nice to see, very fun to see. They have that common goal to win, and oftentimes it is facilitated by teamwork. We do have just about everybody here, so I'm going to pan you guys back over to the game. Yes, everybody's joining and we are all set. Okay. Well, to those tuning in tonight, thank you so much for your patience. We had a timeout and a server disconnect, but after all that, we are set for game number 3 of our CACC week number 5. Post University versus Goldey Beacom. Let's get it back to going on. Oh, keep the timeout link between all the titles. Okay, interesting. Now, what title requires that long? They got Marvel Rivals, they got Smash Bros. Maybe it's Rivals, I'm not sure. It'll be Smash, nevertheless. Timeout is over and done with. Kudos to Goldey Beacom for calling the timeout. I think if there's any time to do it, it's after a tumultuous loss. That was game number 2. They're hoping to reset. So far, so good. At least for Goldey Beacom, they haven't conceded a goal yet. We do see that Karma substitution, Ozor, for Goldey Beacom. The Lightning going to take a timeout, take a break from the game, but there's no breaks when it comes to the Eagles offense. It is Klowa following up that pass from Blitz. First goal in for post. Oh, Marvel Rivals for bans. Okay. Oh, cool. Thanks for the insight. Yeah, it's a shame we didn't get any car bans for Rocket League. Imagine you could ban the Octane or ban the Fennec. That'd be something. I'm ready to see some Scarabs and some Roadhogs out here. I don't know about y'all. But Karma, what a delicate touch on the backboard. Able to control that ball in the air, but lose control completely as Blitz flies in from the logo. Scores their second. Talked about post-university, the Eagles being a very disciplined team, being one that is composed, waiting out the mistakes, but this feels like a different post-university. That was a almost disrespectful play there from Blitz, saying, Lightning, I don't trust you to hold the ball. I don't trust you to protect it. It's kind of like in American football when you see a defender just trying to punch the football out of the ball handler's hands. And sometimes it does poke out. Sometimes you go back for a pick 6. And another pickpocketing of this Goldey ball occurs on the 50-50 from NiMBiiX. Eagles just can't stop. NiMBiiX, hungry for more. Said that goal was only an appetizer for me. Off the kickoff, had a chance there. Karma, nice doink, and we are seeing good plays out of Karma from Goldey Beacom. A lot of smart plays defensively, but do need to be a little more careful from some of the capitalization that we have seen from the Eagles. This one, top corner shot from Karma. What placement, as it's still saved by the Eagles. Eagles defense has been tested here lately, but they're passing with flying colors, as that aerial save looked majestic. NiMBiiX flip off the ceiling, loses the ball. Aims for the bump there. I talked about the offensive rotations targeting those bumps and how good that looks. Look at that double commit forced on the defense. Top corner shot from Blitz is missed. Another crossbar shot rings out as NiMBiiX just misses the back of the net. NiMBiiX removed from the pitch. Respawn should happen just about now, as Blitz holds on to the back line. Eagles tested a whole lot more in this game than they have ever before, and Birdwick passing the test. Here comes the long clear. The pass from Karma hits off the backboard, shots in from Birdwick, but it gets saved by Blitz. Great proactive defense coming out from Post University. They knew that follow-up chance was coming quick, and they luck out on that shot. Ooh, tirade's not over yet. Another save comes in from Klowa. Save your medal. How about the defense right now from the Eagles? How many more can they bat away? As Birdwick follows through. Corner pass, center court. Here by Klowa. Nice rotation, though. Karma takes advantage. Once again from an open ball in the midfield. Sets up that air dribble. Puts up the dunk. That drops back to the corner. Blitz above one. Jade has the angle for the shot. Closed down by NiMBiiX. Again, the ability to forecast the ball's trajectory from the Eagles has been fantastic. They are not a reactionary team, even on defense, when that's how you would expect a Rocket League team to play. On the quick turnaround, they're able to score. The Eagles, resilient. What team in Rocket League Esports do you see make save after save, a whole minute or so of onslaught, and then wrap it around for a counterattack goal? What a standstill. What a statement from Post University. You could put an exclamation mark as a ending punctuation on this game. Okay, slap on another exclamation point. This was ridiculous from Blitz. 3/4 of a tank boost. That's not even full boost to set up that double tap play. Does it with finesse. Five to 0 here, as Post University, their games 2 and 3 have been kind of slow burn games. Get these short leads, or kind of like in this game, the long possession that the Lightning had that looked like the tides were turning. But in the end, they remain dominant. The Eagles 3-0 in this best of 7 series. So as far as I know, no timeouts remaining unless you're Post University and you want to take a bathroom break or a breath yourself. But I imagine with 3 readies up from this team that they are ready to move on, close out this series. In a series where we normally highlight the offense from Post University, I think it's clear that the defense shaped up to be the best thing out of the Eagles in game number 3. Those saves made probably 80 seconds straight of possession from Goldey Beacom. Save after save coming through was just exceptional work from these players. I think my MVP role is kind of a toss-up at this point, because I love what Klowa had been doing this series, but Blitz had been a very close runner-up after that game. I think the title might have to go to Blitz. But on the note of everybody in the Eagles showing up, because NiMBiiX's been doing it as well, let's get on to game number 4. This is match point for the Post University Eagles. They win this one. They take down the undefeated team of Goldey Beacom. And we take a look here. Ozor still subbed out for Goldey Beacom. Karma remains in the game. And what a pass there from Wick. Jade putting up a top corner shot right off the post. Follow up from Karma's off target. And Birdwick takes a shot at it as well. But that one's going to be off the mark. Uh-oh. Birdwick saved by their own teammate. Jade finding themselves on the wrong side of the ball there. Leaving up a potential goal there from post. Grabbing some of those awkward plays from Goldey tonight. Game number 2, they were credited with 2 own goals. Both of them in efforts to really save the ball, so it's up to you on the definition of own goal, but nevertheless, these are plays that aren't exactly according to the plan. Goldey Beacom. Of course, you got to give credit to Post University. They're the ones putting them in these awkward situations, keeping the pace as fast as ever. Beautiful pass over to NiMBiiX. Unable to follow it for the air dribble. Another attempt at a pass from Blitz goes by the wayside. Klowa beaten to the ball there by Karma. It's remaining right under that. Sets up for Klowa. Klowa off the backboard. Goes for the goalie bump. Karma able to dodge the bump and go for the shot. Comes Karma again, taking the ball away there from NiMBiiX. Post University, look at the warpath here from the midfield line. They're unwilling to give this ball away. Jade shot nearly on target, saved away by Blitz. Again, you're seeing that proactive defense from Post University. They could wait on the goal line, see if that shot goes on target. They know better than that. Offensive display has been good enough from Goldey. Put these shots on target, they'd rather nip them in the bud nice and early on. Blitz, flip reset, shot towards the net, forces 2. NiMBiiX hoping to turn on this one, but it's a shot instead from Birdwick. That's just off the target. While Post University have garnered tall leads each of these games, we are nearly 3 minutes down. Game number 4, and they have yet to score. Oh, Blitz targeting Karma here. Birdwick up for this so quickly. They may just leave this for Jade. Go for the shot as well. But they miss. I don't think they expected Post University to miss that ball as well. Jade, next one on it. Tall touch from Karma. And at this point, you can see either team score here. Birdwick goes for the carry to the net. Karma takes away the shot. Post University. Here come Post. Blitz. Her ball. Countered by Karma. Post having a more difficult time than usual, trying to get out of their own half. This one laid up for Klowa to take the shot off the corner. Oh! Post had the read on the backboard. Karma took it away instead. I really think Karma has put in a huge obstacle in the path of scoring from Post. Really impressed with their ability to stop Post before they get hot. Another corner shot coming from Goldey. And I'll tell you what, if half of the shots from Goldey Beacom didn't hit the post, they would be up by at least 1, I'll tell you that. They would have scored many more goals in this series. Another crossbar smack. And precision pays off in this game, as it may just be one single goal that wins it off the post again. I can't believe it. This is their big chance. Jade able to sink it. Finally, Goldey put Post through the runaround. Endless amounts of possession earn them their first lead in the series. Now, Post, what are you going to do with your back against the wall with your first ever time being down in the game? How can you respond? Only got 10 seconds to win this game. NiMBiiX setting up for the flick. Can't get ahead of that player. Blitz opts for the bump, and now has to carry the ball coast to coast. Not going to be easy, but off the quarter, NiMBiiX trying to carry this ball, but lets it hit the ground. Goldey Beacom. It only took 1 goal. That's all they needed to take their first win. Take a look at the scoreboard. You can see Karma all the way at the top here. It's sort of what I was trying to mention earlier on, which was that Karma taking a leadership role, even if it's off the ball. Right? No goals, no assists in that 1-goal game we just witnessed. 3 saves. Definitely helpful in putting up the wall against Post. At Post University, I mean, there's no reason to feel comfortable with this series score. Yes, you're up 3-1 in the series, but as we'll get that marked there on the scoreboard. But in no way are you safe here. As I said, Goldey Beacom are so close to racking up the score line just by getting these shots on target. That is all they need at this point. Oh no! Right off the kickoff. The ball nearly pinches in the net against Post. What an ugly way to concede at the start of the game that would have been. Something became very obvious in the last game of this series, and that was that goals cost a little bit extra at this stage of the game. These teams have sort of figured each other out, have sort of decided what is it going to take? How quickly do I need to challenge the ball? How much boost do I need to save for each save? They have made it incredibly difficult for these teams to score. And you can see the teams try to make the adjustments. The attack for the demolition there from Goldey Beacom is one way to throw a wrench in the plan of the Post defense. I hate to be the guy to do it, but let's be honest, a big component of the defense from Post has been the posts, have been the crossbar, the woodwork doing extra favors for the Eagles tonight. They can't be criticized for that. Only Goldey Beacom can. They're the ones that need to tune up their shooting. Let's see if they can here, and if they bring a greater challenge to the Eagles. Because why skate into the finish line and you can work tooth and nail for it and become stronger as a result? High shot here this time. Klowa able to still get a touch on the ball, not allow for an easy follow from Goldey. Birdwick, big lay into the ball there. That's a demolition. Karma is going to set up for the solo play shot. No time for the flick, so they play it low instead. Flipping quickly into the ball to set up the solo play. And nice shot from Klowa to get a touch on that ball. That was beautifully done there by Karma and difficult to read. This one should be in. Karma! Again, the X factor for Goldey Beacom had done all the work to get the ball in scoreable position, turn around, rotate, get the boost, and then be in position to score. This one could get scary. Birdwick, flip reset play. Get to the net. It's defended well. Uh-oh, Blitz has a big turnaround here. Counterattack play. Fortunately, lets the ball get away from them. Jade will safely handle this one out. And Blitz is caught out here, just barely able to make the save. Picks up boost and tries to get the fake play. Played it inside the field and then up the wall, but didn't get up the wall quickly enough. NiMBiiX past Jade. Ooh, what a fake from Karma. Yeah, this is where the game gets scary for Post, because every touch from Karma is looking perfectly calculated. And now the confidence turning to cockiness as Karma starting to fake out players from Post by just not hitting the ball. This is not a situation for Post that you want to be in, that your opponent is that confident moving on to these plays, especially when they're this far down in the series. Gonna need something to throw them off their rhythm, some kind of disruption play. It's not gonna be easy. Karma again, what a clear. Boost tank, halfway full, but still beating a fully boosted Post player to the ball. That's so difficult there for Klowa. No boost on the play, and you can see how much Post are struggling in the boost department. So much work being done just to get this ball in scoreable territory. Yes, they're on the blue half, but how much work is required to get this ball to the net? Karma closes the gap once again. Back pass from NiMBiiX over to Blitz. On clear, Klowa following this, and what a beat against Birdwick. Had to fly all the way across the map, west to east. Made it done. Klowa goes for the bump. Oh! And had the bump in on target. That could have been the goal the Post needed. NiMBiiX, the communication just isn't there. Doesn't have a teammate necessarily to pass to. Klowa has a shot, though. That's a beautiful play shot. Klowa! Put wings on that car. They're the savior. The angel from the heavens. Knocking down the equalizer. Post University. Unwilling to lie down easily against the undefeated Goldey Beacom. They were one step from a perfect sweep. Now face a potential game number 6. It's a big save from Klowa again. The player who will not be silenced. Picking up the full boost, knocking the ball downfield, setting up the pass play to Blitz. And Klowa again lunging into the ball. Reluctant to give up, even at 0 seconds. One goal from Post will end the series. One goal from Goldey Beacom may continue one of the great best of 7 reverse sweeps that we could see in collegiate, a rare sighting in Rocket League. This overtime is going to be a tug of war for possession, for inches on this field. For any kind of steal that you can get. Karma pre-jumped the play and missed the ball. Jade, desperation play. NiMBiiX plays off the ceiling. Blitz is up for the shot. Blitz is on target. It's saved again. Jade, a low boost save. Keeps Goldey Beacom in the series. One mistake from Karma led to the sequence that Post had been looking for exactly in overtime. The overextension that led to a desperate defensive Goldey, but they do hold on. This one, whoa, 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 whoa. Slow to read the play as Post. They nearly give it away in OT, but NiMBiiX craftfully maneuvers around the midfield. Almost gets past the defense. Someone's going to pre-jump Karma. Nobody's up to save this ball. They put it on target. It's put in front of the net. Big composure play, from Klowa. They had to be composed there. If they go up with the other defender, it's a double commit. It is a goal for Goldey. Karma long ball. Here's Jade trying to redirect it in. And I saw the vision. I just didn't think it was possible. Jade, the back tire redirect for the overtime winner. That is Goldey Beacom to earn the Game 5 victory, bringing this series to a Game 6. Well, this series went from 1, 2, 3, 4 and out to hold on, strap in. We might be going the distance. Jade gets the MVP title, and what a clutch few plays Jade had to make in that game when the series was teetering on the thinnest of rope for Goldey Beacom. They ascended to make some critical saves for the team. And looks like we've had a critical failure for the server. So, okay, that's fine. We'll be getting back into the game here in just a moment, folks. Series not over. 3-2 lead here for Post University. Thanks for joining me, by the way, everybody. This has been an awesome first broadcast for me with Post. And I said they were undefeated with me when they went up 3-0 in the series. And now they conceded 2 games. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut when it comes to superstition and move on into this next game. Game number 6 in week 5 for the CACC is on. And I've just updated the overlay as well. That is 2 wins there for Goldey Beacom. So keep an eye on that scoreboard. That is now updated. So as we settle here into game number 6, I feel like the pace has changed drastically in this series. Overtime was pedal to the metal. And I don't know, kind of like Pokemon levels, these players have evolved in this series. It's getting more and more comfortable with directing these outplays, going for quick challenges, reading the ball, nearly pre-jumping the direction that the ball is going, and these perfect reads. But one thing hasn't changed too much, and that is the shot placement of Goldey Beacom. Very often, do they strike the crossbar? Do they hit the top corner? Do they shoot high? And that is one thing that Post University will thank their lucky stars for, is that Goldey Beacom just struggle to hit the net. That was a late flip there from Blitz. They had the beat and probably an extra touch, but giving it up to Birdwick. Klowa forced to play the angle. I thought maybe Klowa could play that solo. Instead, Blitz is going to follow. What a pinch off the backboard. That's nearly in. One of the most unbelievable shots we've seen in this matchup there. That was Birdwick, I think, from the other side of the field. Hold on, we got a demolition. We've got some bumps. We've got an opening. Blitz leaves for NiMBiiX off the backboard, and fortunately, I think the rest of Post University is on the other side of the field, getting boost. It's a stark reminder of how those little pennies on the ground can be so important to Post University, keeping the boost alive and keeping them alive in the series as well. Birdwick gets a wonderful 50-50 in the paint, and Karma trusting Jade to finish the job. Nice give and go here. Blitz able to take control and take on a couple defenders as well. That's a huge mistake there from Jade, leaving it up to Klowa. The bouncer is in. Talked about this earlier in the series. A singular mistake can be the domino effect for a team to score. And as soon as you see that whiff near the baseline, you know that's something the Eagles want to pounce on. We settled the score at 1. The game tied up now. See what Post can do here. Blitz caught at an awkward angle, able to make the block. As Klowa does the same with low boost. Here comes Karma on top of 1. Klowa's gonna take their time, take the the corner boost that they may not have actually needed. Gets past 2 players. Karma, probably the safest play you could make was a high touch there. Jade passing off the backboard. Does force 2 out of Post University. That's actually a good play out of Goldey Beacom. I talk about their high shooting and their missed shots. That was more of a passing play. That was a smart maneuver. Get Post University to use all their boost. Then follow up the next play with fervor. NiMBiiX, it's a high lob. Klowa's gone. The lone defender is Blitz now. Karma cannot find a teammate in time to punish. Jade continued on that one. Have the direction to follow it. And I will say, suffering to the demolitions is post. They have allowed themselves to become victims of the demo game. Something needs to change in terms of the vision on the field. They just cannot keep falling to these demos. Surprised there wasn't someone there from Goldey Beacom to take the shot. That was a wonderful pass directed to the center of the stage, and Blitz happy that Birdwick didn't take their time on that shot. Here comes NiMBiiX, able to turn it around. Jade trying to keep the goal secure. Klowa with a shot just high. Peeling into the play as Klowa with a demolition on the Birdwick. NiMBiiX missing that boost. Could pose problems. As this game goes on, you see NiMBiiX heading forward just for pennies on the field and leaving the net a little bit open. Fortunately, they're not punished for it. Off the backboard, Klowa will follow with the shot. Overtime, looming. Didn't work out for post last time. Overtime's not even secure yet. That ball given away by Blitz. Klowa has to make a big play on low boost. Certainly does. Blitz, the last one with boost available. Able to get a touch over. And that ball will be killed. We've got overtime yet again. Birdwick had to be very careful on that clear, nearly leaving it open. For post, they're going to take advantage of this play entirely. Oh no, Klowa had the opportunity to keep the possession alive, and that's a giveaway from NiMBiiX. A lot of uncomposed plays from both teams being made in this overtime. You can tell the pressure is on. Karma. I mean, what a shot even with no boost. That is very impressive. Blitz takes high. Stolen by Blitz. NiMBiiX, this is an awkward angle to try to beat the defender. Does get to Klowa first. Surprised Klowa didn't target the demo as well. Both teams have been doing this. There's a flick opportunity for Blitz. The goalie's demoed. It's off the crossbar. Oh, and NiMBiiX. Shot denied by the defense again at the minute mark of OT. Post University have a huge opportunity to clutch up and score. But the Goldey Beacom defense prevails. What a redirect from Klowa. That's an awkward ball, though. Blitz forced to get up quick. And Birdwick winning that challenge. Klowa again, a near save. These are the moments in Rocket League where things get a little bit tense. Everybody's striking for the net at the near midfield line. They're testing the defense, waiting for them to make a mistake. The first big mistake may dictate that final goal. Demolition there. Coming up for the shot is Jade. The long clear will stabilize things for post. The Eagles nearing what they need to defeat the undefeated Goldey Beacom. And they find a way to do it. Overtime continues. NiMBiiX takes over. Searching for a way past Karma. Birdwick looking to read their own double. Will be denied. Karma, a lovely touch that really makes post panic a little bit. Blitz couldn't get that one, and a double commit out of post will clear the ball. Klowa follows it up, and that's the goal. That's the game winner. That's the series closer. Post University take down Goldey Beacom Lightning in Game 6 and prevent the reverse sweep. And what a series it was, folks. That almost came down to the wire. Whew. And honestly, it just about did. I mean, that one had me on the edge of my seat. I hope it did for you as well. The Eagles advanced their record from 3-2 3-2 to 4-2. 4 wins now this season, rivaling the likes of Goldey Beacom. Goldey Beacom 4-0 before the series started. Now they've earned their first loss from the Eagles. So great job to the folks there at the Eagles esports teams. You guys did exceptionally well. That was Klowa, NiMBiiX, and Blitz showing off here for the victory. And I think everyone shares the MVP title. Well, I was going back and forth between Klowa and Blitz, but NiMBiiX was showing up towards the end as well. I give it to everybody. Most valuable players, plural. Thank you all for having me. My name has been PyroJ. I'm an esports caster here in the Rocket League scene and beyond in the esports scene. And I just thank you for joining me here tonight. Thanks for bringing the hype to the Eagles. And I hope to see you again for more esports action for post-university. Thanks so much for tuning in. And we'll see you next time. Peace.